Do you have a case of the Mondays? Because I definitely have a case of the Mondays. Hi everybody, it is Monday, February 11th. It is day 11 of Plan As You Go, where I show you how I use my bullet journal, my Erin Condren horizontal, and my power sheets in tandem for an entire month. Yesterday was my live plan with me, where I stamped in my Erin Condren, and I have so many regrets. So many regrets, but we won't worry about that right now. I'm gonna update my power sheets really quickly, and then we will talk about it. That's pretty much all I got. I got my no electronics time, but everything else in here kind of did not happen this weekend. I didn't even look at these yesterday. There was too much going on with church. It happens sometimes. When my weekends get busy, I get really frazzled really quickly. I have a super busy week this week, so I'm not sure how much of this stuff I can actually get done. I'm gonna have to get some of this done. I am gonna cook with cauliflower. I have that planned, I think, for Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. It's on my plan somewhere. We did not get this family plan time in this weekend, which was something I was hoping for. So maybe we'll sit down tonight and do it after all of the meetings. That might happen. It needs to happen this week, but this weekend was not a good one to start it. There's some things on here I do need to work on, but when it comes to all of this, I really need to get these days off scheduled. That did not happen this last week, but that may be the only thing from the power sheets I really try and get done this week. I'm not sure. I'm gonna set these to the side for now. You're gonna see when we look at, if you did not watch yesterday's live, you did not see, but my week this week is kind of fucked. So this is the stamped week. It did not turn out as heinous as possible, although we did put week. This is today. There's a lot happening today. There's a lot happening most days. The one thing I did not do yesterday though was draw in the lines for my blood pressure, so I'm gonna do that really quick. And I was using this dual tip Erin Condren pen. Now tonight, I will be going live at about 4 p.m. Pacific time to show some new Erin Condren products off, which I'm excited about. A lot of things happening. Doctor's appointment, I've got some patron stuff happening. I have to call the city, I have to get my son's trumpet to get fixed. My kid has a meeting tonight that I have to go to about their big tour next year. They have rehearsal as well. My husband has a meeting because their board is in town. Just a lot happening, and because my doctor's appointment is out of town, I had to also add on the extra time it takes to commute there and back. So I don't anticipate having a ton of time to do extra work today besides this video. I feel like that's asking a little too much of myself. We're also just gonna get dinner, we're gonna get takeout because there's just no fucking way. I'm just gonna keep this open, but I'm not gonna do anything else into this planner today because there's no point. So, I gotta get my bullet journal set up for the week. But I did not enter in my pain tracker this weekend either, but I had a pretty rough day on Saturday, but I did not take a painkiller. And I took a painkiller last night. I don't remember if I went back and checked any of this off. I did not finish anything, so I cannot check anything off. My doodle challenge for today is arugula. I tried another arugula recipe this past weekend. It was like a fried chicken and arugula recipe, and it's linked in my Pinterest, which you can find in the description box. It's like fried chicken arugula with Parmesan, and god damn it, I think it was my favorite arugula recipe. It was probably the most time consuming or like pain in the ass to make, but it was so, so good. You put the arugula tossed with like a lemon vinaigrette on top of the hot chicken, and so it wilts on top of it with the cheese. So good. Here is what's left of my lettering from this last week, and I did this, and we did give Loki his flea meds last night. He still is grouchy at me. He did sleep with us, like he stared angrily at us for about an hour after it happened, but he did sleep in the bed with us last night, although this morning he's still giving me the side eye. He's not entirely forgiven me yet, but you know, it's for his own good, damn it. So the only thing on my to-do list from this last week was the scheduling the days off, so that will definitely go on to this week. And then I did not do any bullet journaling yesterday. I just didn't have the chance to, and I didn't really, I mean, honestly, there wasn't much to bullet journal, but this is Saturday, so we'll continue here. And then I need to add in my weekly stuff, so my lettering and my weekly intentions list. You'll notice I'm not answering really any questions in this video. I didn't go back and look to see if there were any on Saturdays. I woke up with a little bit of a headache, not because I drank, but because I'm sinusy as fuck, and so I've got a bit of a pressure headache this morning, and I just did not have the energy to go back and figure it out, and I have so much other things happening today. But I will answer questions tomorrow if you've got any. As for assumptions, I think what I'm gonna do, either do a live video but it's just that, so you can see my face, maybe on Instagram, or maybe here, or do it in one of these. I haven't decided. I want to do one of those, I just haven't figured out what the best format is for it yet. Maybe I'll do it in March, and I'll just wait till it's not so trendy anymore. I'm not sure. But if you have questions or things you want me to talk about in tomorrow's video, please leave them down below and I will get to them tomorrow. I was not as active, and like on Saturday I finally got my video published and I wasn't even able to be that active in the comments because of all the running around I had to do yesterday, on Sunday, Saturday, whatever fucking day it was. I don't know what's happening anymore. I am drinking coffee, but this is my first cup of coffee and that's as far as I've gotten. Sounds like a case of the Mondays is my mug, and it's exactly what's happening right now. Dude, I am having so much trouble. Like, look at this wacky shit here. I am fucking, what the shit is even happening? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm not sure what I'm like smoking. I'm not smoking anything. I'm just smoking exhaustion. Ugh. So I will mention while I'm doing this, and I'm not speeding up, that I am getting more into my skincare. This may seem like something you don't even give a fuck about in my lettering or my planner video, but it's part of my life, and I have not put it in my planner yet, though I think I might start putting it in my planner to remind me to do it. Here's what happened, or here's the story. I've talked about this a little bit, that ever since I have gone on certain medications like diuretics, as my kidney function has declined, my skin has gotten really fucking wacky. It used to be just oily as fuck, and now it's combination as fuck, where like my cheeks are the Sahara Desert and my center of my face is like a bowl of Crisco. Like, it's really, really extreme. And even when it's oily, I feel like all of the moisture has been leached out of me. Like, I'm turning into that scene from the SpongeBob movie where they're in, what is it, Shell City or whatever, and they're getting dehydrated on the dehydrating table. That's how I feel. Today's lettering challenge is taking me back to my middle school days. I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. So there's that. There's the fact that my skin has been kind of going a little haywire, and I've been desperate to get it kind of under control. Secondly, I just turned 39. For the most part, I don't have a shit ton of wrinkles. Not that there's anything wrong with wrinkles, but I don't have a shit ton of them, and I think it's because I've had such oily skin my whole life. I've heard that if you have oily skin, often you don't have get wrinkles as quickly because your skin has got so much shit going on it. And if that's the case, I'll take it because I need some kind of bonus for having to deal with this bullshit my whole life. It occurred to me that I have never been great at taking care of my skin. Now, that's not to say I sleep in my makeup, because that's gross. I have done that, especially back in the days when I was drinking too much. I did sleep in my makeup, but I don't sleep in my makeup. I wash my face twice a day and I use moisturizer, and I love my moisturizer. I've talked about it on my favorites videos before. It's the Neutrogena water gel, whatever. But I've decided I want to be a little bit more rigorous with my skincare, and in part because, you know, I'm getting older and I want to take care of it, but also in part because it gives me an opportunity to like just really pamper myself in the evening, to spend a little bit of time just being nice to my skin, and that sounds incredible. So I'm working on it. I'm incorporating in some facial oil or serum, a different one in the morning and the evening, and I'm trying a night cream out, so instead of my regular moisturizer, something a little bit more heavy duty. I'm also going to be using an eye cream, which I've never used before, and I know that that's something you're supposed to use, and it's something I've never used before, so I'm gonna be trying eye cream out, and I want to start using one of those jade rollers, because with as headachy as I get, especially because of my sinuses, I've heard that if you jade roll with your sinuses and your face, it can help alleviate some of that. And as I said this morning, I have a sinus headache and I'm constantly stuffed up. I figure that at the very least it could feel good, and at the most maybe it could relieve some of that pressure. So I'm going to be working on that, and if you're interested in hearing more about it, I'll tell you more as time goes on. I'm not an esthetician. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, except for Googling and trying things that feel good and drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to make sure to chug down a big glass of water in the morning when I first wake up, instead of going for the coffee first. I drink plenty of water during the day, but like I said, I've got kidney disease, so it just goes right through me a lot of the time. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you do for your skin. Is there anything you do for your skin to take care of it, you know, whatever? Let me know in the comments because I'm curious. It's becoming like my latest obsession. The other thing I really am leaning towards is wanting to start knitting. We talked about this a little bit in my live stream, I think. I can't remember if it was my live stream or no, it was my live stream yesterday. We started talking about knitting. My friend Mira has a knitting Instagram called See This Knits, where she does her, like, she has patterns that she talks about. She's did really beautiful stuff, and I would love to try it some more. So I'm thinking about it. It's in the back of my mind. I'm really trying to think about ways to do things for myself that are not work related and not family related, because I'm bad. That's one of the areas in my life. I talked about wanting to bring my life in harmony. That's an area I really got to work on. It's on the top of my mind. Just saying. All right, I'm gonna make my to-do list for the week. I gotta move over the plan the days off because that still hasn't fucking happened. There's some other stuff off of the monthly list. There's a good chunk of this that probably should get moved over here. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I'm keeping my planner open to remind myself just how fucked this week is. So I need to be a little cognizant of that. But I think I've done this, I did this earlier. There was like a week, this one maybe, where I put write sermon nice and big as that being a top priority. I've got 2 top priorities I want to do that with this week because they're the scheduling the days off and getting a family planning session in, because that's important and we need to do that. Not birth control, planning our week. So those are the 2 things I need to get checked off this week, and you guys need to hold me accountable in the comments because damn it, like we just talked about this a few days ago in one of these Plan As You Goes, when something gets put on your to-do list and it stays on your to-do list for, you know, however long, and you just keep moving it back and forth. We discussed that, and this is happening with me right now in real time, and this week we need to remedy it. That needs to happen, so we're gonna make it happen. So here's my list for the week. I pulled some things from the power sheets, like continuing the tax prep, meal planning, things like that. Some of these items got pulled off of this list. Some of these items got pulled off of my planner. This isn't ambitious considering how much shit I got going on this week, but almost everything here has to get done this week. So I'm just gonna have to live my life this way. All right, let's go to the bullet journaling for today. Today is my sister's birthday, and I need to give her a call. Today also has a really fun podcast going live. If you've listened to my podcast before, if you haven't, it's the Uncurated Life podcast. It's linked in the description below. Gia from Marriage and Motherhood was on it today, and I got to talk to her about a whole bunch of shit, and it was pretty awesome. Especially when I talked about like her experiences. She's an analyst, like a senior business analyst, and so the way she looks at her YouTube numbers is different than the way I do as somebody who like has artist brain and cannot figure the fuck out. So really great. So if you're at all interested in YouTube or in general about like, you know, family life and whatever, I suggest you listen to it. I was excited to get to interview her. Anyway, that was a ramble. I'm gonna be looking directly at my planner right now so I don't forget anything on here because that's important. I want to just double them up on here because there's so many things, there's so many moving parts today. In the past, when there's moving parts days and I haven't written them twice, people are like, why do you write things down twice? Because otherwise I will forget them. I know myself well enough. So I'm going to write them down twice so I don't forget any of them because it's not just me today. All of this has to do with every single member of my family has something happening today that I need to take care of or be involved in. The only extra thing I put onto today's list, besides the things I knew already were happening, was pulling the YouTube numbers for the last week, because that's not that big of a deal. I can do that while this video is uploading. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of extra time today, and honestly, I'm not gonna try and squish more in, because I know exactly, I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be stressed out as fuck. Give me like 3 o'clock this afternoon. When I go live this afternoon, you guys are gonna hear it in my voice probably. But I wanna go live today because it actually will be nice to do that. So I'm not worried about it. It's not like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not put out by doing it. It will be nice to take a break and do that. And it's actually in between a break period between all of the errands and the meetings and shit later in the evening. I'll be very glad when we get to tomorrow and it's Tuesday. Let's just put it that way. And I'll be able to tell you, hopefully we'll know at that point where my kids' band is going next year for their big tour and exactly how much money it's going to cost me. Anyway, you guys, like I said, leave your advice or your tips on skincare in the comments below. And if you struggle with skincare, maybe ask for tips or advice for your own specific needs. There might be somebody who can give you some tips in the comments. Until tomorrow, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next Plan As You Go video.